Elizabeth Quinn here with Elizabeth Scenes and Scents, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about what I've been warming over the holiday week between right before Christmas and now, which is middle of the week before the new year, and I get to relax today. I don't really have to work. So we're just going to have some fun talking about some Scentsy things, and I do have a warmer that came in the mail right before Christmas that I'd like to show you, and I have quite the pile here, so let's get started. So first off, I actually finished a brick. My first ever brick. The sweet orange pomander, all gone, except for a couple of cubes that I used to be able to give out samples. I did all this damage and I just love it. I was trying to think of a comparable scent to compare this to, since it isn't really like your orange and spice scents that people were thinking, naming it sweet orange pomander. So honestly, I think that it's a lot more like a Home Sweet Home from Yankee, or maybe even their old Home for the Holidays, which I miss a lot. I think that they finally brought that back, at least in a jar candle. Last year I couldn't find it anywhere, and that might have been because of the pandemic, I don't know. But anyway, sweet orange pomander is my first official brick that I've ever finished, and I have about 10 or 12 of them. So that is something to celebrate. And second, I'm almost done with my Crimson Berry Christmas. I have 2 cubes left. Now this was from 2020, so I have been working on this just as a consumer. I didn't use this for consultant samples. And this one reminds me an awful lot of 'Tis the Season by Bath & Body Works. This has a little bit of a cherry note that one doesn't have, but other than that, it's almost identical and it's fantastic. I have 1 more full bar, so I'll probably be using 2 or 3 of these brick cubes a year, so I can just sort of baby it along until it's gone. But anyway, absolutely fantastic. So I warm the sweet orange pomander probably once or twice a week in several zones, and the Crimson Berry Christmas is more of a I'm in the mood for it scent, and I've done that in the dining room and in the front room, and it's had really good throw. Both of those throw kind of medium to medium strong, and they last somewhere between a day and 2 days. Very good performance. So next, I have a nice little pile of all of the different types of scents that I've been getting through. So kind of in its own category, Season of Magic by Disney. Now I want to put a little bug in your ear. If you like any of the licensed bars that are currently available, I believe most of them are going away on the 31st, going back into the vault, so to speak. So if you want to put this or anything else like it in the Scentsy Club, you need to do it within the next couple of days. So this was Season of Magic. It's a really nice blend of what I would consider to be 80s fake Christmas tree plus some berries, and they say there's sugar in here, but it's just a happy, happy smell. Really enjoyed it. Have several bars, and I have it in my club to get more. Black Forest Pine, which is the December 2021 scent of the month. Wonderful. I also put this in my club. Honestly, it's partly because my best friend fell in love with it too, and she's I have 1 scent and that's all I burn kind of a person. So this is in there as an insurance policy for her, because I still have several bars from my consultant kit. It is smoked vanilla and woods and peppered clementine, really complex, very woodsy, very evergreen, but not as bright. It's deep, it's dark, it's very, very good. Then we did a lot of Homestead Holiday. I think I've gone through almost 2 bars of it, and that's unusual for me. I don't usually melt that much. So this one will find a place for that last little cube. So good. Used this on Christmas Day and several times in different rooms within the last 2 weeks. Just warm and inviting, very Christmassy, but you could really use this into January, anywhere from November to January. If you live in a place where it's cold, obviously, if you live in Florida, you're probably done with your Christmas smells right after Christmas, but excellent smell. I put that one into my club also as an insurance policy, because after my Cozy Fireside heartbreak, I am not losing any more really good bars. So speaking of Cozy Fireside, I melted 2 cubes of Cozy Fireside on Christmas Eve. Still my favorite smell ever. I have 3 full bars, and then I have these 2 cubes, which I may melt these 2 cubes maybe on New Year's Eve, and then I'll have 3 full bars left. And if I do the math, I can probably eat this out for several years until hopefully it'll come back and bring back my bar. So, favorite smell ever, used it on Christmas Eve. So now, the one that is still currently available that's a similar profile, this is sweeter. This is Christmas Cottage. I'm sorry, I forgot to say, Cozy Fireside is ginger and cinnamon and smoke, not really heavy on the smoke, but just it smells like the official Christmas by the fire reading the night before Christmas or the Christmas story about the Lord, like cuddly, amazing, warm scent. So back to Christmas Cottage. This one is currently available. This one is Valencia orange, raspberry, and cinnamon. This is a little sweeter, lasts a good long time. Cozy Fireside is a great performer too, just ticks along real well for a couple days. But Christmas Cottage, it stays medium throw, very warm, very rich, very cuddly, absolutely love it. So I have 1 bar of Candied Cranberry Pecan, which I've been saving. It was a couple years ago in the catalog and then they pulled it. I do like it. I'm glad that I didn't keep this one in my club though, because after warming a couple of cubes this year, it's good, but it's not quite club worthy for me. It has brandied plum and some pecans and the cranberry. It's very nice, but there are others that I like better, so that was nice. And then to go with that, I did some jeweled pomegranate, which is kind of similar. It's same thought process. Candied Cranberry Pecan is definitely warmer with the brandy and the plum. This is a little bit more punch bowl. That's what I think of every time I smell this. It's mandarin and cinnamon stick and pomegranate, and to me it just smells like a really good Christmas punch. Very nice. That one's kind of a low level though. You don't smell it all over the place. You really need to walk up to the warmer more for the jeweled pomegranate. Then Be Merry. Went through a lot of Be Merry, maybe even a couple clams. I have trouble remembering to throw my clam shells into the basket where they need to go. Be Merry. If you need one smell for Christmas, this is it. This is cassis, holly leaf, cinnamon. I think there's a little bit of a tree in here. It is greater than the sum of its parts. Truly smells like Christmas. I can't imagine that people would not like this. Absolutely fantastic. So then we go on to some spicy ones, and I have to say, one of the other ladies that I enjoy listening to, her name is Linda H. She brought up a good point about melting something not necessarily because of what it says, but because it smells like. So I got out some pumpkin cinnamon swirl between Christmas and New Year's, though, right, just the last couple days. And without thinking about the pumpkin in this, I really enjoyed it as the scent of a gooey cinnamon roll that was just nice and warm and rich. Yes, there's pumpkin, but it's not so prominent that you couldn't enjoy this from time to time in the winter. So I thank you, Linda, for reminding me that I don't have to lock this away as soon as November 1st comes around. Really enjoyed that. So kind of same idea. I have not been on the apple butter frosting train. I've been doing Scentsy not as a consultant but as a consumer for years. And finally, my younger daughter got me on the apple butter frosting train. Now, everybody says this is super strong, which it is, but because I melt so much spice and my house is small, I think it's sort of an equalizer. This does not come across crazy strong in my home, so I've actually been using this in my bedroom. And I love it. And we have a small house, and my bedroom does not have, high ceilings or anything to, minimize the effect of this. It's just so good, which people have been saying for years, and I've just sort of tuned them out. It's rich, it's a little bit appley, it's a little bit spicy, but the buttercream takes the bite out of both the apple and the spice, and I think I'm really addicted now. So this is a new favorite for me. Also, Hazelnut Frosting, which is a club scent. This one I think I did with some other bakery smells, and it's just great. It's vanilla, hazelnut, tiny bit of ginger, lots of buttercream. And it's just, there's this nuttiness in it that makes it sort of festive. It's really good, but you can use it all year round too, which is why it's in my club. Cinnamon Bear, I went on a spice binge about a week before Christmas. Just lots of cinnamon, really smooth, really strong. If you love spice, it's beautiful. And then the day after Christmas, I kind of needed an emotional, gentle letdown. So I did Cozy Spice. Now, Cozy Spice is a lot more subtle than, say, your Cinnamon Bear or your Cloven Cinnamon. This is in my club. This was part of the Cozy Collection, which was one of my favorite Christmas collections, 4 years ago now. Wonderful. It's nutmeg forward with a little bit of a creaminess. Honestly, if you're drinking, not necessarily chai tea, but just a good spiced tea, black tea with a little bit of spice in it and a drop of milk, This is what you got. Wonderful. So I've got a few more. They just keep coming. So sometimes batches of a scent will smell different. Wassail Wonderland from a few years ago versus Wassail Wonderland this year. This clamshell had more fir tree. This clamshell has more lemon. Once in a while that happens. I like them both, but honestly, there is just enough difference between these two. I prefer this batch from probably 3 years ago. It has more tree. Just, I think, maybe difference in oil availability or that particular batch, but wonderful scent. So it's bright orange, lots of lemon, and the newer one, I really smell the lemon, and then a hint of spice and some evergreen. Really beautiful. So Gingerbread Hugs, this was Scents of the Season last year, and this is a nice, sharp gingerbread scent. So I think I might have melted this, I think on the same day as Hazelnut Frosting, because this one's a little more mellow. Really nice, just a happy, gingery bakery scent. I think I have one more full bar of Gingerbread Hugs. So another day I wanted something a little smoky. Fireside Chats is my favorite, other than Wassail Wonderland, of the this year batch of Scents of the Season. I really didn't care for most of the other new ones. I was kind of disappointed, but this one is nice, but in small doses, and you have to be careful what else you melt it with, because this is nutmeg and very smokiness and blood orange. So it's unusual, it's kind of strong, and it's kind of pushy, but I do like this, and I think I will enjoy it in the winter. I have a whole bunch of things that I'll show you in January that I haven't talked about that I kind of keep as my like winter cabin and cozy by the fireside that's not Christmas smells, but I think Fireside Chats will end up in that that grouping also. So just a couple left. I've got Sleigh All Day, which is a clearance scent, and I meant to check before I got into this video. I'll try to do it before I do another video about Sleigh All Day. This has been in the clearance since September, and it's fresh. Probably my favorite fresh scent. I've melted it several times this fall because my daughter wanted me to get quite a bit of it before it was gone forever. Love this. If it's still available and you like fresh, it's got juniper and sort of a fresh, woodsy, airy quality. Really, really good. So then two that are currently available, and I would assume will continue to be, I hope, next season, Polar Bear Hug, which used to be called Eskimo Kiss, and Arctic Kiss. And I usually think of these two as going pretty much together. I usually melt them together. Polar Bear Hug is blackberry jam and vanilla and musk, and Arctic Kiss is like a fluffy vanilla and mint and melon, which sounds so weird. But they're very, very good. I think if I had to choose between the two, I like Polar Bear Hug slightly better, but they're both amazing. So that's a lot of different things that I've been getting through, and then this little guy didn't come in time for me to show him to you before Christmas. This is Snow Day. Oh, and I'm melting a Bring Back My Bar fragrance that we're going to be talking about in the next video in him. He is so cute. Can you see how he throws a tree, there you go, a tree out of the back of him? This warmer, I had to wait for it to come back in stock because I missed the boat on it the first time. I'm so glad that I bought him. If you're kind of wavering about getting a tin warmer, don't. They perform beautifully. I know they have a Santa Claus. I don't know today what is still left in stock, but this guy has stolen my heart. I'm going to probably leave him out all January. This is Snow Day. One other thought. If this is a problem where you end up putting him because the bear bulb blinds your eyes, I have put parchment paper in there. I'm not saying Scentsy would approve this. I'm not saying that this is a perfect solution. But since parchment paper goes in an oven, I've carefully taped this on the inside of him, or probably a safer alternative, if you can find a frosted 25-watt bulb, which again wouldn't be Scentsy approved, either of those things might help with that issue right there, which where I chose to put him over the last couple weeks, I need some help because it's just glaringly in your eyeballs. But anyway, he's amazing. He's super cute. I hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas. I know this video was long, but have a happy, blessed, and safe New Year. Love y'all.